At the 2025 Caribbean Regional Risk Conference, Ian Durant, Director of Economics at the Caribbean Development Bank, delivered a point assessment of the region's economic fragility in the face of global shocks. Citing the heavy dependence on tourism and limited export diversification, Durant emphasized the urgent need for structural reforms to enhance competitiveness. He stressed that the limited diversity in the region's export mix amplifies this vulnerability, making the case for exports, diversification, and increased competitiveness across sectors.
There's tremendous amount of inefficiency in our ports, and I think that it wasn't that pretty much this was symptomatic of the quality of logistics in the region. For example, you have labor industrial relations practices and fee structures that pretty much date back to the 1950s, before containerized cargo existed. So this has significant implications for cost.
Durant highlighted key improvements needed to boost competitiveness, including better farm extension services, stronger sanitary standards, upgraded roads, cold storage, and modernized ports. He noted that outdated port practices, some dating back to the 1950s, drive up costs and hinder trade efficiency across the region.
So this has significant implications for cost and the efficiency with which goods can move across the region. So these are things that we really have to address if we are going to create an environment within which trade and competitiveness can occur. Now, with respect to food production ecosystems, very quickly, things like testing labs that provide information on shelf life and nutritional content, business support organizations that will support the development of agro-processing MSMEs, access to appropriate credit for MSMEs, regulatory agencies that are efficient and digitized to reduce the cost of navigating these agencies, movable capital registration frameworks that facilitate investment, and insolvency legislation that encourages risk. Those are some of the things that we need to do if we are going to encourage and facilitate trade and export-led growth in the region. So I think that we can, in summary, we can diversify our economies and reduce the risk associated with what we face globally. But we have to be intentional, and the policy imperatives that I just outlined in relation to the 25 by 25 plus 5 initiative can also spur and encourage and facilitate investment and export in areas other than food processing.
In addition, he stressed the need for support systems such as food testing labs, business services for agro-processing, MSMEs, improved access to finance, digitalized regulations, and modern legal frameworks to encourage investment. He emphasized that initiatives like the 25 by 25 can reduce economic vulnerability and serve as a blueprint for broader export-led growth and diversification.
Ultimately, some of these things that would be involved in this would be farm extension services and sanitary and phytosanitary standards that ensure that produce can actually cross borders, feeder roads and a good road network that would allow for efficient transportation of produce, packing stations and cold storage facilities that protect produce in storage, and good ports, as was mentioned earlier, with efficient modern operating standards to allow for efficient movement of goods across borders.
Building economic resilience in the Caribbean, Durant says, requires deliberate and sustained policy action. By strengthening competitiveness and reducing dependence on vulnerable sectors, the region can create a more stable foundation for inclusive, export-driven growth. For Choice News Now, I am Chelsea Austinay.